In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the Nikon P900 for birds and wildlife. Now, they're up to the P950 and the P1000 now. The only difference between this camera and those is the length of the zoom and some refinements in the video. So I think you should be still good with these menu settings. There's also the B700, which is the same camera but with a shorter zoom. First step, as always, is to put the camera in P on the mode dial. Turn the camera on, open the menu, and the first step is to set it to continuous shooting. When you first open it up, it's going to look like this, image quality. So you're going to scroll down. You get to continuous, so you press this, scroll down to continuous low. Again, you could set it for continuous high, but that fills the buffer really rapidly, so you can only take just a few pictures before you run out of space. If you put it on continuous low, then you can shoot pretty much continuously as long as you hold the shutter button down. Then on this camera, you're going to set the focus area to a small area in the center of the screen. Right now it's on target finding, and I think that's the default. You could set it for manual spot. I use manual normal because on this particular camera I get more consistent focus and more accurate focus in that position. That gives you the movable spot. You can move it while it's highlighted, but I leave it in the center. Then the ISO settings. Again, I use auto, but I do set a minimum shutter speed. And you see you have choices here, but the highest shutter speed is 1/125th, and that's where I set it. While I'm looking at it here, there is an autofocus mode. This gives you the choice between single autofocus and full-time autofocus. I find that full-time autofocus works better. Then we're looking at metering. You have a choice between matrix, center weighted, and spot. I set it on center weighted. With those settings, of course, the program is going to determine your ISO, your shutter speed, and your aperture. Again, I could change white balance, but I leave it on auto 1 on this camera. Auto 1 is just normal. Then, when I've made those settings, I go back to the menu. And save user settings. It's done. Now if I want to use those settings, instead of program, I set the mode dial to U, and it's all set to go.